Have you ever felt like you're screaming in a vacuum? You're putting in the work, you're being the bigger person, you're swallowing your pride so often you've forgotten what it tastes like. You're the one setting the thoughtful texts, the little things showing up when no one else does. And what do you get in return? A half-hearted lol, a canceled plan, or that soul-crushing silence that says more than words ever could. You're giving a five-star performance of love, loyalty, and effort to an audience that's busy scrolling through their phone, barely even noticing you're on stage. You've poured every ounce of your being into a person, a job, a dream only, to be treated like a convenient placeholder, a background extra in the blockbuster movie of their life. You try to talk it out, to be the reasonable one, to fix the cracks you didn't even make, but deep down, a cold. Hard truth is settling in your bones. You're clinging to a memory, not a reality dot today. We're not just talking about leaving. We're talking about a philosophical detonation. We're going to arm you with a mindset so powerful, so final, that it will incinerate the part of you that begs for scraps of affection. This is the art of the clean break, inspired by one of history's most profound thinkers on the human condition, Leo Tolstoy. This isn't just about walking away. It's about reclaiming the territory of your soul, about making your inner peace so expensive that no one can afford to disturb it ever again. The Russian literary giant who penned epics like War and Peace and Anna Karenina. But his genius wasn't just in storytelling. It was in his brutal, unflinching dissection of truth, morality, and the human heart. Tolstoy once wrote, "We can know only that we know nothing." And that is the highest degree of human wisdom. This hits right at the core of our problem. We think we know the people we love. We think we know they'll eventually see our worth. We think we know that our goodness can magically fix their brokenness. But this is a delusion, a story we tell ourselves to avoid the terrifying truth. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you because it benefits them. They aren't lost. They are strategically comfortable in their dysfunction. You keep offering them your light, hoping it will illuminate their path, but they just use it to find new ways to keep you in the dark. Let's get into the raw, uncomfortable mechanics of when and why you must walk away. First, walk away when your presence requires your silence. If you find yourself constantly editing your thoughts, biting your tongue, or shrinking your personality to fit into their world, you are not in a relationship. You are in a cage? You dim your own light so their insecurities don't feel so blinding. Your dreams become too loud, your opinions too inconvenient, your very essence a problem they need you to solve. Tolstoy dedicated his later life to the pursuit of a moral, truthful existence. He argued that living a lie, even a small one, is a form of spiritual poison. You think your silence is a form of kindness, a way to keep the peace? No, your silence is an act of self-betrayal. It's a quiet agreement that their comfort is more important than your existence. When someone makes you feel like an apology, that is your non-negotiable 5-alarm signal to exit. Don't just walk. Evacuate. They don't deserve an explanation. If they truly valued you, they would have never asked you to become invisible in the first place. Second, walk away when their love is conditional. There are people who adore you when you are a source of joy, a convenience, a solution to their problems. They love the version of you that is always smiling, always giving, always easy. But the moment you are grieving, struggling, or in need of the slightest support, they evaporate. They become ghosts in the machine of your life, leaving you to face your demons alone. Tolstoy's writings are saturated with the idea that true love is not a feeling. It is a moral action. It is a commitment that is tested not in the sunshine, but in the storm. If someone cannot handle you at your most broken, they have not earned the right to stand with you at your best. Stop performing for a crowd that leaves the theater the second the tragedy begins. You are not an entertainer hired to keep them happy. You are a whole, complex human being. Walk away. Let the curtain fall. Their applause was never worth the price of admission. Third, walk away when you are the sole architect of the connection. Relationships are a collaborative project. a bridge built from both sides. If you find you're the only one laying the bricks, mixing the mortar and sweating under the sun while they sit on the other side, critiquing your work, it's time to down tools. You are not a one-person construction crew. You are not their emotional laborer, their life coach, or their designated savior. Tolstoy believed in the principle of reciprocity, of mutual moral effort. Ask yourself this brutally honest question. If you were drowning, would they throw you a lifeline, or would they just watch the ripples? If the answer is anything less than a resounding yes, then you are already alone. Walking away isn't the act of abandonment. Staying in a one-sided relationship is. You are abandoning yourself. Forth. Walk away when your compassion becomes their license to hurt you. Forgiveness is a beautiful, divine act. But when it becomes a daily, weekly, or even monthly routine for the exact same offense, it stops being forgiveness and becomes enablement. You are not healing a wound. You are institutionalizing a pattern of abuse. Tolstoy argued that true repentance is not an apology. It is a fundamental change in behavior. You keep offering endless chances to someone who treats your grace like a renewable resource they can exploit without consequence. You analyze their trauma, you understand their past, you make excuses for their behavior, and with every excuse, you lose a piece of yourself. You are not a rehabilitation center for people who refuse to heal. Stop trying to be their redemption story. You are so busy trying to save them that you haven't realized you're the one who needs saving. Fifth, walk away when the cost of staying is your own identity. This is the most insidious danger of all. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow erosion, a quiet death of the soul. You start to notice it in the small things. You stop listening to the music you love because they made fun of it. You stop sharing your successes because it makes them feel insecure. You find yourself apologizing for things that are fundamentally you. Your laughter gets quieter. Your dreams get smaller. Your world, once a vibrant landscape, shrinks to the size of their approval. Tolstoy's greatest fear was not death, but an unlived life, a life disconnected from one's own truth. That is precisely what happens when you anchor yourself to a person who is rotting you from the inside out. Love is not supposed to be a survival mission. It is supposed to be a garden where you grow. If you are withering, you are not in a garden. You are in a desert. And sixth, walk away when your loyalty to them becomes a betrayal of yourself. This is the most painful truth. Many of us don't stay out of love. We stay out of history. We stay because of the investment, the shared memories, the fear of what people will think. We are loyal to a ghost, the ghost of the person they once were, or the person we hoped they would become. But Tolstoy lived by a stark principle. Your ultimate allegiance must be to the truth, not to appearances. If you are staying with someone who, in their current form, brings you consistent pain, anxiety, and self-doubt, your loyalty is misplaced. You are honoring a past that is dead at the expense of a future that is waiting to be born. Do not let the fear of a new beginning keep you locked in a beautiful-looking prison. If the bridge only leads you back to a place of pain, you don't. Just walk away from it. You burn it to the ground. So how do you execute this? How do you walk away with the grace of a philosopher and the finality of a force of nature? 1. Make your exit a statement of silence. You do not owe them a closing argument. You don't owe them a tearful monologue or a perfectly crafted breakup. Text that explains your journey of self-discovery. Your departure is the explanation. Their confusion is the consequence of their own actions. Tolstoy didn't seek validation from society to live his truth. He simply lived it. Let your peace be your power. Let your absence be the answer. They will never understand the value of your presence until they are forced to deal with the emptiness of your absence. The apology you are so desperately waiting for will never come, at least not in the way you need it to. The only closure you need is the sound of your own footsteps walking away. 2. Prepare for the withdrawal. This is crucial. Walking away in the beginning does not feel like freedom. It feels like a self-inflicted wound. It feels like agony. Your mind has been conditioned, even addicted to the cycle of hope and disappointment. The chaos was your normal. The pain was your home. Tolstoy taught that our happiness is determined not by external events, but by our interpretation of them. So, reframe the pain. Every pang of loneliness, every urge to unblock them, every moment you miss them is not a sign you made a mistake. It is the poison leaving your system. It is your trauma fighting to keep you chained to the past. You must learn to sit in that fire and let it burn away everything that was holding you back. You are not healing for them. You are healing from them. 3. Build a new world they can't exist in. Don't just move on. Level up. Elevate your life to a frequency they can no longer reach. Pour all the energy you wasted on them into yourself. Reconnect with the friends you neglected. Chase the dream you put on hold. Find hobbies that make your soul sing. Start choosing people who don't just tolerate your light, but are drawn to it like a moth to a flame. The most profound revenge is not showing them how successful you are. It's becoming so. Engrossed in your own beautiful, peaceful, fulfilling life that you forget they even exist. Their chapter is over. Don't reread it. Write a new book. 4. Commit to a total amputation. This is not a time for half measures. It must be a complete severance on every level. Physical, digital, and spiritual. Block the number. Delete the photos. Mute their friends. This isn't about being cruel. It's about being kind to your future self. Tolstoy believed that true freedom comes from shattering illusions. Your greatest suffering comes from the illusion that this person was your only chance of happiness, your soulmate, your one true connection. It's a lie. A beautiful, tragic lie. Don't just close the door. Lock it, bolt it, and barricade it. Your mind needs to understand that there is no going back. 5. Embrace the emptiness. There will be days when the loneliness feels like a physical weight. You'll miss the good times. You'll even miss the predictable pain. That's human. But as Tolstoy wrote, truth, like gold, is to be obtained not by its growth, but by washing away from it all that is not gold. The loneliness is the water washing away the mud. It's the process of scrubbing away everything that isn't authentically you. Don't run from it. Don't numb it with meaningless distractions. Sit with it. Cry. Scream. Grieve the future you thought you would have. And then, when the tears dry, stand up and remind yourself that they were a lesson. Not a life sentence. And finally 6. Set a new standard that terrifies your former self. This is your rebirth. Your mantra from this day forward is simple. Never. Again. If you're not actively outgrowing the people in your life, you are not growing. Let the old you mourn the loss, but let the new you be ruthless in its pursuit of peace. From now on, your energy is a privilege. Your time is a luxury. Your heart is a fortress. If they don't bring value, they don't get a visit. If they play mind games, they are disqualified. You are too expensive to be sampled by people who can't afford the real thing. So, if you are in a place that demands you live a lie, that feeds on your shame, that requires you to be smaller so they can feel bigger, walk away as if your future depends on it, because it does. Walk away as if the whole healed, powerful version of you is on the other side, waiting to finally meet you. And walk away as if your soul is watching, holding its breath and whispering, "It's about damn time." The comment of the day goes to Sarah Miller, and she said, "I needed to hear this 10 years ago, but I'm so glad I'm hearing it now." Sarah, the past is gone, but your future is a clean slate. I see you, and I'm proud of you for choosing it now.